you guys ready for another power-packed presentation? You have pen and paper? Good. Make sure. Probably going to want to take some notes, or at least screenshots. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's already recording? No?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Oh, it is. Okay. But we'll do our formal now so you can cut out the rest here. Okay. So, welcome everybody. We are so excited to present this topic on how to use your metabolism to lose unwanted weight and keep it off. And I'm Faye Epps.
I'm Joel Epps.
Yes. And together we have been sharing doTERRA and the education that goes along with it for about 10 years. However, I have been in the health and wellness space for almost 40 years now. Just a brief little introduction of who I am. I originally was going to be a doctor, did my undergraduate work in pre-med. As I was going through that, I became more and more interested in holistic health and natural alternatives, at that time is what it was called, for health. And I can't move.
Oh,
And so realized at that time maybe med school was not for me. It wasn't really integrative medicine at that point or complementary medicine. So I just felt like I wouldn't really fit in. So I did something that I thought was more wellness oriented and preventative oriented, and did my graduate work in nutrition. And from there worked in various clinics, high-risk obesity clinic, eating disorders, weight loss, what else? And then I got into teaching at the college level, which I loved, and taught health and nutrition for almost 25 years at the college level. And so this is where a lot of my love for teaching comes from, but also my passion for helping people make lifelong healthy changes. And why? So that you can be healthier and happier. Who doesn't want that, right? So tonight we're going to focus, like I said, I'm going to share.
Maybe you want to learn a little bit about me too.
Okay.
And now that Virginia's here, I can talk about myself.
Okay.
So listen, y'all. I definitely don't have the background that Faye has in this area.
Sure.
But I'm going to tell you about, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, I was struggling because I was working in corporate America or the business world and eating out a lot and not getting enough rest.
Sneaking in that chips and
my favorite
sweet and iced tea.
Yeah, exactly. So my favorite snack foods were the worst thing you could want: Doritos and Snickers bars. Okay, that's what I was eating. So I got really, really ill, and it wasn't until I started taking my wife's advice about what to do that I started realizing, there must be something to this nutrition thing. I mean, I always knew there was, but I didn't realize how important it was until I needed to get better, and I started listening to her, and I started getting better. And then we came across essential oils and doTERRA, and it was a game changer, a life changer, and we decided to do this because my passion for helping people switched to wanting to help people with their health because I realized how important this really was. And so here I am, from music to business to health. And I just want you to know that I'm a convert now, so it can happen.
Yeah, and you know what part of it was? You took your health for granted.
Yeah.
You just thought you could do
whatever.
Yeah. Right? Because you were thin at the time. And
I still am thin.
Yes. You just thought it didn't matter.
Right.
And so, yes. Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to screen share. Which one? This one?
No. Now we have to make sure, can everybody see this? Use your metabolism to release unwanted weight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everybody seeing that? Okay,
Okay.
good. If you think you've lost us or we've lost you, say something because sometimes these slides don't sync up
Advance.
or don't advance with the with Zoom. So I want to make sure that it's still working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Okay. So let me put it in presentation mode.
Everybody still seeing it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I'm on.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. So we're talking about this because it's actually a pretty big problem. 2/3 of adults and almost 1/3 of children in the United States are overweight or obese. And, so definitely anyone who has unwanted weight, you're not alone. And we often look for quick fixes. And I saw this a lot when I was working with people. And, we're all the same, right? Like, just make it easy, give me a pill. But I wish. But really, what we need to focus on is a healthy lifestyle. And that way, and focus on wanting to look and act and feel good, not only now, but years from now. So it really is about what can I do to be healthy? Because the weight is a symptom, and as we address many of these other issues, we will see the weight released. And it's not our fault because a lot of the things that we've been told are good for us actually have a negative effect on our metabolism. And we're going to talk about the MetaPower system as well today because we do need to address our metabolism in order to help deal with the weight. And this isn't a diet. This process, this system is a tool that actually changes our metabolism and it helps enhance the effects from your healthy lifestyle choices. And so it addresses weight gain at the source, optimizing your metabolic health, releasing fat, and giving you energy and confidence you need to be the best version of you. How does that sound?
Sounds pretty good to me.
Awesome. So when it comes to maintaining a healthy body weight, what would you say are your biggest challenges?
Cravings.
Don't be shy.
Not having time to prepare and cook and
Yeah, that's a
go
good. That's a
grocery
good one.
shopping for the stuff that would be better for me to eat.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah.
Time is a big one.
It's a big challenge. Yep.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Cravings.
Cravings?
Yeah, the sweet
Yeah.
cravings, sweet tooth.
No,
Yep. Deal with
Yeah.
those cravings. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say not drinking enough water and not walking enough because of my bad knee.
Okay.
I would have to say exercise too. Again, time. Not making the time.
So, as you think about your challenges, I want you to also think about what's it costing you? Physically, emotionally, mentally, socially? What's the cost of not making these changes?
It's pretty substantial because I feel like crap. Don't have no energy. That's one question that I had for God was, why is all this stuff that's good for us so hard to do? It's
Yeah.
almost like it's a battle. mentally, because I'll get on a good path and everything will, I'll feel good. Everything will be going good. Then I'll have a craving, like somebody had said, and I get off the wagon and I feel like crap, but I stay there.
Because
And
that
that's one thing that I don't understand with myself is I have everything to do it. Why aren't I doing it?
Why don't
right,
you?
right. And there's a few.
Is it is it a mental thing, emotional thing that I think I don't deserve it?
Yeah.
Because I can't say I can't afford it because I have a lot of products that if I would use and I have the time, if I just do it, and a lot of times I buy stuff with good intention and it's like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll start it and then I'll get off of it. And then I'm like, oh, why am I not getting back on it? It's
Yeah.
definitely a mental thing for me.
Part of
You
it.
have to quit.
Part of it. Definitely. You are not alone. And there are also some real behaviors or actions that can possibly help. And we'll address some of that, but also know, for all of you guys, know that, this presentation is about an hour long, so I can't go into a lot of detail or individualizing, but I am always available to have a one-on-one wellness consult with you to help you personalize this information. Okay, sound good?
Sounds great.
But
Yeah.
just know that it's not your fault because a lot of times you're being manipulated. We won't go into the detail on that right now, but the food industry is notorious for
There's a lot of
creating
Yeah.
addictions to bad food.
Yes, yes, absolutely,
So we'll leave it at
absolutely.
that.
Right, but it is important to think about what it's costing you so that you understand what that effort is worth, the investment in yourself. And so we will be talking about metabolism and how to use that. And so part of the question is then, what the heck is metabolism? We talk about it, but so let's just all get on the same page. In short, metabolism is all the life-sustaining chemical reactions in our body. And there's three main purposes or three main things that metabolism does. One, it converts energy from our food to energy that's available for our cellular processes. Okay? Really important. Two, it converts our food that we consume into the building blocks for the proteins and fats or lipids and nucleic acids and carbohydrates that our body needs. And three, it's important in the process of elimination of metabolic waste. Metabolism basically is that summation of all the processes in our body. Kind of important, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when we talk about metabolism influences these things, energy that we have, weight, body composition, sleep, and our cognitive performance, as well as many other things. The way that we measure our metabolic health is usually with these 5 markers, biomarkers. Having ideal levels without the use of medications of blood sugar, triglycerides, cholesterol, waist circumference, and blood pressure indicates a healthy metabolism. And that's what we call metabolically healthy. Suboptimal levels of these markers can lead to many things, including weight gain, cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, stroke, even cancer. And unfortunately, only 6.8% of the adult population has optimal cardiometabolic health.
Wow.
That means almost 93% 30% of people are operating on suboptimal metabolic health.
Wow.
Yes. That's why I said in the beginning, we're all in this together. And what happens when we have metabolic health out of balance, have these markers out of balance? Well, it can lead to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, browning of the skin in certain areas of the body, fatigue and inability to focus, i.e. brain fog, high blood glucose, low HDL cholesterol, high triglyceride levels, high fasting glucose levels, and central obesity, fat accumulated in our abdominal area, and visceral fat around
How
our
many inches
organs.
is that? How many? I don't understand that. How many inches?
Yeah, so this is not inches. When we're talking about inches, for females, it should be less than 35 inches, and for men, less than 30. These
What?
measurements, yes, these measurements right here are waist to hip ratio. So measure your waist, measure your hips, and it's waist over hips, and divide it. And the ratio for men should be less than 0.9. And for women, less than 0.8. And then hormonal imbalances, including polycystic ovarian syndrome in women and erectile dysfunction in men, because this causes hormonal imbalances of the sex hormones, testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone. And so what we're going to look at today are the 5 lifestyle factors that affect metabolic health and our weight, and some tips on how we can help address these problems. High stress levels. We know that stress can cause us to gain weight. Lack of exercise, lack of quality of sleep, nutrient deficiencies, and exposure to toxins. So we're going to talk about all 5 of these. Let's talk some solutions. Our focus is on the wellness pyramid, and it's on the lifestyle section of the wellness pyramid. We're going to take a brief look at nutrition, on movement, and also metabolism, rest and managing stress, and reducing toxic load. When we're talking about weight, it's really important that we take a holistic approach. Not any one thing is the answer. And think of this kind of like that game Jenga, right? And if you pull one of these categories out, everything topples because they're all interconnected.
Mm-hmm.
And what's so amazing, your body has an amazing capacity to thrive when you give it what it needs at the cellular level. Number 1, good nutrition. It's really the primary factor in good health. Nothing new there, right? But what Joel made a good point about is the foods that are so convenient and like found on every corner are the foods that are not necessarily good for us. And think about television ads. Do you ever see apples advertised on TV? How about broccoli? When's the last time you saw an ad for broccoli, right? But how many ads are there for pizza or McDonald's or Carl's Jr., right? It's like in our face all the time. And these foods, our bodies get addicted to fat and sugar.
And salt.
And salt, yes.
Yeah.
And biologically, evolutionarily, it makes sense because when we were hunter-gatherers, right, and foraging, that was hard to come by. And sugar was hard to come by, and so was salt. they're all necessary for our bodies. It's just in what quantity. So when we came, so these sources actually activate within our brain, pleasure and satisfaction. But unfortunately, we now have these foods 24/7, right?
And they're also synthesized and made to addict us. That all the salt and chips and all the sugar and candy bars and all the fat and Kentucky Fried Chicken, all that stuff is made to get us hooked.
Yes. And so here are just some basic tips for helping with diet. And like I said, I'm happy to talk to anyone. But what's really important, eat less often. And ideally, try to have 12 to 16 hours between your last meal and the first meal of your next day. Having that period of not eating allows your body to do a lot of cleaning up and repair. When we're constantly eating, it actually does harm to our bodies, not just in terms of maybe eating too much, but in terms of turning on the genes that actually help with DNA repair and cell metabolism and our longevity genes. And so this is what we call intermittent fasting. And you can start slowly, right?
No.
Start slow.
I don't know what it is.
And then, okay. Choosing water over sugary beverages. I'm going to mute.
Virginia.
Okay. I'm going to mute you, Virginia, but you're welcome to unmute when you have things to share. So mix the sugar, and I know that it's addicting, so again, start slow. But really what our bodies need are water. We don't need all the additives, not only the sugar, but the sugar-laden beverages usually come with artificial food colorings, often other artificial flavorings, and our bodies just need that water.
Can you differentiate between sugar, processed sugar, and natural? Just for a second, because
no, even
you say sugar,
sugar,
maybe somebody's thinking, "Oh, I can't eat fruit now."
No, well, I said beverages, so yes, beverages and sugar. I'm talking about processed sugar, but even whole fruit is high in sugar, so we really need to also maybe limit that to 3 servings a day and focus more on vegetables, right? Non-sweet things. And so the other thing that we want to do is find a balance between hunger and fullness. We often overeat for various reasons, whether it's, I'll eat now, let me just finish it and I won't eat later, right? Or we put too much on our plate and we were taught not to waste food, so we finish it, right? But I always say that food wasted, in other words, that goes to your waste, extra calories, is food wasted anyways. So we have gotten away from our natural hunger and fullness mechanism within the body. Mindful eating becomes important. And remind yourself, you can always eat again if you get hungry. So we don't have to do preventative eating. We can eat enough, stop. Maybe it's only half a sandwich that fills you up. Save that other half a sandwich and give yourself permission to eat it again, right? And you can also use smaller plates, helps you take less food. Another one, a big tip is, don't make the mistake of trying to change everything overnight. We go get gung-ho, we find this diet, we're sticking to it, then something happens, and boom, we fall off of it. And now comes that all or nothing thinking. I'm either on it and I'm perfect, or I'm off of it. Think in terms of progression. progression, not perfection, and start to replace some foods with healthier foods. Don't try to change everything at once. And lastly, think in terms of a rainbow diet. Eat fresh, whole, colorful foods. As you're bringing more of those in, it'll help to crowd out some of the other things. And a couple of other tips. Recent research has shown that the Mediterranean diet is actually the best one, not only for weight, but also for health and longevity. Because remember, that's our real goal, is health and aging healthfully. What good is being at a certain weight if we end up, right, being sick? So Mediterranean diet, and I put a picture up. If you guys want to take a picture of it, this is a nice little summary of Mediterranean diet. Plenty of vegetables, lots of colorful vegetables, whole grains, legumes, fruit, healthy fats. Olive oil is what they focus on, and you want to stop using things like corn oil, canola oil, safflower oil. Those are all inflammatory oils, and inflammation causes us to gain weight. Adding in wild seafood, high in omega-3s like salmon, halibut, and also nuts and seeds. Eating small amounts, dairy, eggs, and poultry, and occasionally red meat. Processed foods, better to eliminate altogether, like lunch meats, bacon, things like that. And sugary desserts should be a treat occasionally. And if you're going to have sweets, have them at the end of a meal, because it will help slow down the absorption of the sugar. Okay? Now, as good as our intentions are, and even if we're eating a really healthy diet, unfortunately, nutrition has been bred out of our food. And the loss of these beneficial nutrients started way before farming. We used to say it was from agricultural farming, but it's been going on for a long time. And since we stopped hunter-gatherer way of living and foraging wild plants. And so we have lost so many of the phytonutrients, the nutrients from plants, and it's causing deficiencies. And it's estimated that, gosh, look at that, 95% of the population is low on vitamin D, 94% low on vitamin E, magnesium, vitamin A, calcium, vitamin C. These are all markers of a generally out of balance diet, a nutrient deficient diet, because normally these are present in whole grain, fresh fruit and vegetable diet.
Yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence that certain illnesses and viruses are taking advantage of people that are low on nutritional, especially vitamin D. And if you're following me, you know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. My thoughts too.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, as a nutritionist, I always have stressed supplementation. But it's just like the word says, it's a supplement to a healthy diet. It helps to fill in the gaps. It can also help you transition to better or healthier food selections, because you're starting to feel better when you start taking these. And so this is our Lifelong Vitality Supplement Pack. It has essential vitamins, essential minerals, has our longevity blend and energy blend in the alpha CRS, and in the XE omegas, those are the essential fatty acids, our carotenoid blend, and essential oils. And one thing you want to make sure is the quality of the supplements. Absorption is the key. You can take supplements all day long, but if your body can't break them down and absorb them, you're going to have just very expensive urine and poop. Let's get real. So you need to be able to absorb them. These vitamins are specifically chelated to make them absorbable, and they're in a whole food matrix so that your body recognizes them as food. And they have been found through clinical research to have all of these benefits: cellular longevity, healthy cellular inflammatory response, more energy, DNA protected, so less damage to our cells. So much immune support, stress management, heart health, bone and joint health, brain health, digestive health, and more. So really what you're getting: more energy, better cognitive function, better mood, less aches and pains, and stronger, thicker hair and nails, and better looking skin. It's giving you those micronutrients that might be or probably are missing in your diet.
And remember again that this is clinically supported stuff, which means it has been studied and researched. So there are papers and information that for those of you that are really into, science and details, we can provide that.
Yeah, and it's really such a bargain. When you add up everything that's in this, it's like over $1,300 worth of food. And you have the three, and nutrition, right? $1,300 of nutrition. And the 3-bottle pack is $80.50. And with that, you are helping to fill in those nutritional gaps. Now let's talk exercise for a minute. We think exercise is just about burning calories. It does, but relatively speaking, it burns, proportionally not that many calories compared to your metabolism. And so, yes, it helps, but really what it's doing is helping to increase your metabolic rate. And it's helping to create more mitochondria, which is the energy-producing little organelles in your body. And it burns stress hormones.
In your cells.
In your cells, yes. And it activates your aging, your longevity genes. So it's helping your body to, feel younger and age at a slower pace. You want to focus on aerobic about 3 to 5 times a week. And you want to do about 10 to 15 minutes of high intensity. So you work that into your aerobics. This really turns on the longevity genes and helps to create more lean muscle mass, which is more metabolically active. Strength training builds muscle, and again, lean muscle burns more calories. And then flexibility is to help with balance and agility, and to help you reduce injuries while doing other types of activities. So all three are important. What type of exercise should you do? It really is which one will you stick to, right? And again, if you haven't been exercising, start slow and build up. Don't just say, ooh, I'm supposed to do 30 minutes a day, and you jump in and do that. Even 5 minutes to start. Now, sleep and stress. Did you know that lack of quality sleep actually affects your hormones? And with sleep, it was interesting, poor sleep can actually have a significant impact on your weight and cause weight gain. Often when you're sleepy, have you noticed when you don't get enough sleep, you crave like sweets or fatty foods? and your appetite usually increases. You also don't feel like exercising, right? And lack of sleep also can lead to glucose intolerance and insulin resistance. So getting enough sleep is what we consider between 7 and 9 hours of sleep a day. And studies have shown that it's important to actually go to sleep before midnight, and ideally sometime between 10 and 11 p.m. to regulate your hormones properly. Now, stress is another big one. And stress induces physiological changes that cause a natural resistance to weight loss and can even reduce immune capacity. With stress, we get cortisol. We release cortisol. And cortisol production has been found to actually increase the number of fat cells. It also can cause us to overeat, right? Some people, when they're stressed, they use eating as a coping mechanism. Cortisol also increases our appetite. It increases cravings for sweets and carbs, just like lack of sleep. And it decreases the production of testosterone, which is necessary for building muscle mass. So it's kind of this double whammy of making us eat, making us hungrier and reducing lean muscle. And it also increases the fat around our middle, and which leads to that metabolic syndrome that we talked about in the beginning. And lastly, reducing our toxic load. This means the toxins, not only in our bodies, but the toxins in our environment that actually goes into our bodies. So avoid toxic exposure. This is coming from our cleaning products. It's coming from our air fresheners, our candles, our personal care products. Anything that we are inhaling or putting on our body goes into our body. And there are so many products out there with fragrances. Anything that says fragrance are synthetic chemicals that disrupt our hormones. Anything that has phthalates are disruptors to our hormones. So it's time to make a switch again over time, substituting natural products for ones that are laden with toxins. Fortunately, doTERRA has a wonderful selection to choose from. This is a whole nother presentation that we do, so we're not going to go into a lot of detail, but it is so important. We are exposed to over 80,000 chemicals in the products we use, and only a handful, literally a handful, have actually been tested for safety. And we also need to support our bodies to help eliminate the toxins that do come in. Now, unlocking the door to a balanced metabolism enhances all these healthy changes in our lifestyle that we start to incorporate and makes it easier for us because we're going to feel better. And what is that key? Well, first, what are the metabolic obstacles? Maturing fat cells, blood sugar spikes, cellular integrity, breakdown in our DNA, and damage to our cell membranes, damage to our proteins, and using inferior supplements. The new MetaPower metabolic system has been shown to support metabolism and our metabolic health and help magnify those healthy lifestyle changes. And let's look at why. First thing we're going to look at is what can we do about maturing fat cells? And that's where the metabolic oil blend, MetaPower Metabolic Blend, comes in. It actually inhibits fat cells from maturing or filling up with fat. It also helps to curb cravings, and it supports our metabolism. And look at this, you guys. So it's believed that by the time we're adolescent, we have all the number of fat cells we're going to have. Although we just learned now, right, that stress can actually add more fat cells to this. But in general, we have a certain number of fat cells in our bodies, and when we gain weight, those fat cells increase in size, filling up with fat. They're just storage containers. And when we lose weight, those fat cells shrink and they take up less space. So with the metabolic blend, and this was really cool, this was an actual study that was done looking at the metabolic blend at different doses. When you see the stain, this dark stain, that means the fat cells are filled with fat. And as we increase the dose of the metabolic blend, look at that. Less fat in those cells. That's pretty cool. And for those of you that are familiar with Slim and Sassy, that was our metabolic blend before. Think of this as a reformulated, new and improved version. Same oils, but different proportions. And a study was done comparing the Slim and Sassy, which is the dark orange, and the MetaPower new blend, the lighter orange, and to a leading competitor's brand. And look at the difference.
Oh, those are dosages.
These are dosages. Yeah. The new blend outperformed Slim and Sassy. Now, Slim and Sassy still was good, right? But the new MetaPower blend is even better in doing what? Stopping those fat cells from filling up with fat, and also curbing appetite and increasing metabolism. Look at, this is a fellow doTERRA user. She's been using all the MetaPower products for about 3 weeks. And in 3 weeks, she lost 6 pounds, lost 2 inches from her waist, no more brain fog. She's got clearer thinking, no sugar cravings. She used to want something after dinner every night, and so much more energy. And she's been able to add workouts. Pretty cool. Now, obstacle number 2, those blood sugar spikes. That's where the MetaPower Metabolic Assist comes in. It decreases post-meal glucose spikes, supports healthy insulin sensitivity, supports healthy blood sugar responses, and stabilizes your energy levels throughout the day. See, too much glucose in the system is what, and then the dips that you get, like those ups and downs, right? That's what's causing the brain fog. When you have more steady, consistent glucose, you're going to have steady energy and clearer thinking.
It also
Also,
affects aging too.
Well, also, higher glucose levels in the blood damages proteins. And these proteins clump together, and that's what contributes to aging. Yep. And having more consistent energy levels and keeping it low stimulates our body's natural longevity mechanisms to fight disease. So it's pretty cool. We can use this. There's 4 ingredients that all come together to help slow down the absorption of carbohydrates into your system, as well as helps to uptake that glucose into your cells. And this was a little study that I forgot how many people it was done on, but this is the average. Yeah, I think either 25 or 50 people. And without MetaPower Assist, the average glucose level, blood glucose, was 102. With MetaPower Assist, the average glucose was now down to 89. That's a 13% difference.
And there's no spikes.
And the spikes, right, are much, much less. It's pretty much smoothed out. so that you have that sustained energy. And this was I was really happy to hear about this. Tamar said, I am the caregiver to an elderly aunt whose glucose went through the roof about 4 months back. It was over 400. The doctor put her on a very strict diet. Nurses came once a week to check on her. It came down to about 171, but never changed. When I got back from convention and got the products, I put her on the MetaPower products. Her glucose at the start was 173. After 10 days, it was 143. All right. Now, obstacle number 3, cellular integrity. Helping your cells function at its best, helping them repair, helping produce energy. And that's where the MetaPower Advantage comes in. It promotes healthy biological aging and improves our health span, activates our longevity genes, keeps us feeling younger, having more energy, right? Increased energy production, improving our cognitive functioning, helps produce more lean muscle and connective tissue, as well as helps improve our skin. Now, I don't expect you to read all this, but I just wanted you to see there are 12 different ingredients. It is more than just collagen, and in fact, there are 9 different types of collagen, but there are many cofactors included in this to help the body produce more energy and utilize the collagen. And so there's lots of different collagen products on the market. Most of them only have 1 or 2 types of collagen, and they're usually focused, first of all, they're cow or pork. Ours is from fish, and they focus on usually skin, where ours are focusing on brain health, on bone health, on connective tissue, as well as skin. And it's been shown to be 12 times more available to the system. So it's really pretty cool. If you want to take a screenshot of the QR code, you can read more about the difference between this product and other products on the market. Now, I wasn't really that familiar with collagen because I knew I would never take cow or pork, products coming from cow or pork. But when doTERRA came out with this product, I started to do more research, and it was really interesting why collagen supplements. And most research on collagen supplements is related to joint and skin health. Human studies are lacking, but there are more and more human studies going on now. And what we have seen is an improvement in joint mobility and decreased pain, such as with osteoarthritis or athletes. Collagen comprises about 60% of cartilage and very firm tissue that surround bones and cushions them. So it helps reduce joint pain and it helps to strengthen those joints, right? Pretty cool. Now, the other main component that's in the Advantage has to do with energy. And NAD plus is what provides energy in the cells, and it steadily drops starting at around age 25. And by the time we're 50, we have half as much as what we had at age 25. And that means our metabolic functions decline. Well, what's cool is we can do something about it. The MetaPower Advantage, this was a study that was done, and in 1 week there was a 20% increase in NAD plus levels. That means more real energy. And after 2 weeks, there was a 23% increase in NAD levels. And so now what's being done is a larger longitudinal clinical trial on more people. So that's pretty exciting. Now, again, what is NAD and why, why should we take it? Well, first of all, we can't really take NAD. It's too big. And so there's a lot of research going on right now with nicotinamide mononucleotide. And if you look down on the bottom, that's what NMN is. And that's what's in Advantage. And this is really cool. Long-term, so 12 months study, orally administering NMN suppresses age-associated weight gain, enhances energy metabolism, improves insulin sensitivity, and prevents age-linked changes in gene expression. And I love this part. Following treatment, the metabolism and energy levels of older mice resembled those of younger mice. Wouldn't it be nice to get back to feeling younger again, right? And again, these are just some other product users, and I just, was happy to see these results after a few weeks. More energy all day long, no more brain fog.
Cindy what?
Alone. No sugar cravings, sleeping better, supports sunspots on her hands are getting less noticeable, and she's just very happy. And I love this one where Ashley has lost 10 pounds and 7 inches, and she noticed that her cravings have stopped. She's eating less. She's not as anxious anymore. Her hair is healthier, right? So you notice from all these different testimonials, there's differences, bio-individualities to how these products are working, but overall, people are seeing changes in their metabolic health, and that's what's really cool. And it's a great value when you look at everything that's in MetaPower and add it up. It's $314. You're getting it all in an easy form to use for only $84. And this is so important for just keeping our joints and our brain and our insulin, our weight, all those things healthy.
And just real important, on the left are individual products. So you'd have to buy those separately. And this is a game-changing product because our formulation is much, much more than that $314 worth of stuff that you could buy on Amazon. These are taken from Amazon, and our products have much, much more
it's higher
ingredients
quality.
And higher quality ingredients.
Exactly.
And it's a real game changer, and that's what makes this exciting because it's never been done before.
Yeah, exactly. And so let's look at a few takeaways. Nutrition and metabolism are intricately connected. Nutritional deficiencies, as well as lack of, like we talked about, sleep and too much stress and not enough exercise and metabolic imbalances affects almost everyone in the U.S. And so that's why, again, we said you're not alone. However, the good news is there are safe, effective, and affordable solutions that we can do on a daily basis to help us feel better and be able to lose unwanted weight and keep it off because we're addressing the underlying metabolic problems. Now, you might say, why do I need, both Lifelong Vitality and MetaPower system? The Lifelong Vitality supplements support cell structure and function through micronutrients and optimal enzymatic functioning in the body. So the Lifelong Vitality supplements provides those missing micronutrients that are often cofactors for enzymes. And when we don't have those, our bodies can't make the enzymes that control all of our metabolism. The MetaPower system altogether, the three products are meant to be used together to optimize the metabolism of macronutrients for metabolic activity. So those macronutrients are the fats, the proteins, and the carbohydrates, so that our bodies can get that energy from those macronutrients. Thirdly, the essential oils support chemical communication to upregulate or downregulate specific pathways in our system. And so these play an important role in, say, helping us to manage stress, or helping us with getting better night's sleep, or helping us with sore muscles. And all three of these combined enhance and magnify our lifestyle choices. So all four work together.
Let's just quickly, lifestyle choices: nutrition, exercise, reducing toxic load, and getting better rest and sleep.
And stress management.
And stress management, yeah.
Yep.
So those are important to do on your own on top of this.
Yes, and all this enhances that. So you might want to take a screenshot of this. This is kind of a summary of how you would put everything together. Foundational, this is kind of like standard, like where to get started. To see the greatest results, you would go to the target one, and to really up level and master longevity and feeling your best, you would go to the up level.
So we have people that are struggling with different things, and they need to really focus on just the basics and getting started.
Exactly.
And then we have people that are athletic and want to perform better and are using these products to actually improve and up level their already healthy status.
Yes. So how to get started? The metabolic system comes all together in a kit, and it's actually an enrollment kit as well. For those of you that are not have not joined doTERRA yet, you can use this as a way to get started. And the Lifelong Vitality Pack.
And we might also add that these products come with the money-back guarantee, so there's no risk in trying it. I think that's a testament to how well and effective doTERRA believes in what they're doing here.
Yeah, exactly. And lastly, we just want to leave you with knowing that doTERRA is a science-based company, and they are committed to doing clinical research and development. And it wasn't possible to do research on essential oils until the standard of purity and consistency was reached. And that, through doTERRA's efforts, they have the most pure, most tested essential oils out there. And because of that, the quality and consistency is there to be able to run clinical studies and look at efficacy and also dosing. So it's really cool to know that you have all this behind the products you're using. And with that, I'm going to stop screen sharing.
So in a way, it's kind of like the first time in modern history that supplements have been able to be studied in such a way, and consistency has been able to be provided in such a way that you can actually scientifically prove the effectiveness. I don't know of any other company out there that really even does this.
Yeah.
And we've been in the natural products business for a long time.
So I know that was a lot.
Yeah.
And like I said, I am here if anyone wants to talk one-on-one, have a little wellness consult, see what the next best steps are for you and how to create a routine that works for you to help you get started. Because like I said, this is about progression, not perfection. And what's nice is the motivation continues as you start to feel better from using this and makes you want to continue and do more.